Superman, one of the most iconic superheroes of all time. If you ask a random person to name a superhero, they'll likely say Superman, along with Batman and Spider-Man. But unlike those two in terms of video games, Spider-Man is known to constantly release bangers, and Batman casually has one of the greatest games of all time, Arkham City. In Superman's case, well...
And there's no time to waste.
Yeah, Superman's not known for having great games. But Superman 64 is just one game. Are they all truly bad? Yes they are. But a lot of them have something going for them, and they could have been great. So today, we're gonna find redeeming qualities of 5 Superman games. We're gonna give them all an honest shot, including Superman 64, along with Superman Man of Steel, Superman South the Apocalypse, Superman Returns, and the death and return of Superman. So let's get started. We'll be ranking these 5 games on this tier list, because I am very original and highly professional. We'll be ranking from unplayable to almost good. And for the record, the almost good games may be sad, because it could have been cult classics if they had more time to cook. And we will start with Superman 64 to set the bar. Now you may be thinking, why am I setting the bar so low? The bar's gonna be in hell, this game's dog shit. Well, here's a hot take. Superman 64 is not the worst Superman game. It has a foundation of a good game, and it's actually playable unlike one game on this list. But we'll get there when we get there. So we start a game with Lex Luthor trapping Superman in a virtual world where he is forced to fly through evil LexCorp kryptonite rings of doom, a torture method the CIA is currently working on. Trust me, bro. The sight of these rings makes Superman forget how to fly straight. He can only fly as gay as me, so therefore, the game controls like shit. But, out of the list of games we're covering, this is one of the better controlling ones, believe it or not. The game can feel almost smooth once you get used to it. It's still shit, but almost smooth. If only the gameplay was good, then I would gladly push through the awkward flight controls. The gameplay could have been good though. This game never got a chance to finish cooking. It's like Sonic 06, where it has a foundation to be a great game, but the development was rushed before it's ready to be played. By the way, you should really play Sonic 06, it's really good. Fun fact, there's going to be a PlayStation version of this game, but I never saw a lot of day due to it gained the reputation of being the worst N64 game ever conceived. It's a shame really, this game was never meant to be shovelware, but hey, corporate meddling will make that happen. There's still value here though. This game will highlight the issues Superman games tend to have, some of those being the aforementioned awkward flight controls, combat with no impact to fluidity, and personally the biggest issue I have, failure to tell a story, take a full effect of the video game medium. And yes, this game does have combat. You just need to be strong enough to get past 2 ring stages, and to be brave enough to remove car bombs from the general public. Then and only then will you be able to one-punch Trenchcoat Man. But alas, we need to put Superman 64 in the terrible tier. The only reason why I recommend playing it is for the same reason why I recommend that you watch The Room. To see just how bad a piece of media can be, but also to get a good laugh. But now, we need to move on to the only game on this list that I consider unplayable, the Xbox original exclusive, Superman Man of Steel. Now, in my personal Superman game headcanon, this game is an Xbox exclusive because when Sony saw this game, they got on their knees and begged Microsoft to please keep this range of power shit to themselves. We don't want this on our platform. Our game starts off with Brainiac getting big mad and infected the city with a virus. The virus turns said city into peak level design, known as Eggman Land for Starring Unleashed. He deploys his robots, and Clark Kent gets really scared and leaves. This Superman comes to save the day. Now it's our job to destroy these robots. Superman flies at the speed of a geriatric Hawkman. He's absolutely motivated to take out these evil robots. Unfortunately, I can't tell if his punches or powers are doing any damage. He's just flailing his arms, produces the sparks you'll see after a Power Rangers gets stabbed. All of Brainiac's robots points their guns at Superman and guns him down, with no feedback to the player about whether or not their efforts did anything. You know, at least in Superman 64, it was clear when you, the player, was fucking up. Not only are the controls stiff and slow, but like all the enemies, feels like you're playing God of War, where Kratos is having clinical depression. So, genuine question here. Was this game ever meant to be played? This game feels like an ad you'll find on Filoni's website. I'm waiting for the game to inform me about Hot Lotus Lane in my area. Things got so bad, I signed the agreement with Brainiac himself that'll allow me to stop playing this game if I let him waterboard me with liquid kryptonite. In fact, the waterboard appointment is scheduled to happen right now, so be right back. Well, That was a thing that happened. Back to cover Superman games. Stop right there, citizen. Who are you? I'm the world's best anti-drug cop and the biggest buzzkill on the planet. I saw you work out that drug den. So give me the drugs. Now! Officer? That's not a drug den. That's a torture facility ran by Brainiac. He waterboarded me with kryptonite. Did he do it under the influence? Okay, let me get this straight. I was tortured with melted fragments from a long-lost planet and possibly constructed an undocumented sickness from extraterrestrial radiation, and your only concern was whether or not the person who did this to me was fucking high? My only job is to collect drugs. So was the brain man under the influence or not? No, officer. Brainiac was not high. Damn it, I was gonna get those drugs and have a good time tonight. Excuse me? You heard nothing! Before I let you go, I need to conduct a sobriety test. Is Superman Returns a good movie? No, that's not a good movie. The game is a lot better, but it's still bad. Fuck, you really are sober. Alright, you're free to go. Well, that was annoying. Hope that guy never comes back. But anyway, let's move on to a game with a more mixed reception. Superman Returns. Now, full disclosure, since I know that there's people who actually like this game, more power to you. But I know Sonya's gonna mention this. This is indeed the PS2 version. The reason why it's a PS2 version is because I can't re-emulate the 360 version. It doesn't run well on Genia. However, I did look up gameplay of the 360 version. It's the same game with better graphics and apparently better controls, but I can't test it since I couldn't play it. But in terms of everything else, it shares all the same flaws as the PS2 version, so it will not affect my judgment too much. With that out of the way, let's dive into this game. We are at Metropolis, and Superman's dad speaks from beyond the grave to constantly detonate his son. He also serves as a tutorial who never shuts up.
You're a fool, Superman.
Stringing your blows together, Kal-El, will increase their effectiveness.
You'll mainly hear him yap during the Outer Space Fight Club that Superman is not allowed to talk about. You'll then find out that the combat is not good. It's clunky, stiff, dodging looks weird, it doesn't really allow for combos, and it's just not fun. Illegal fight clubs aside, the first part of the game gives us a taste of the gameplay loop here. The city gets through a crisis, whether it be a burning building, a Metallo robot invasion, meteor showers, or someone suing Superman for saving him when he didn't want to be saved. Wait, that's Incredibles. Superman would take care of all of it, all while managing to see his health bar. Since the rest of this game can't harm Superman, Superman himself has no health bar. The lose condition is the city takes too much damage. Reckless use of their powers will also harm the city. So yes, this is not a Homelander game. Being Homelander will make you lose, which makes sense because he could not beat Metallo anyway. This is actually a really interesting framework for a Superman game. The issue here is, these micro tasks are the whole game. The flow is, Metallo gets angry, so he attacks civilians or burn a building down or commits tax evasion, and you deal with. And you keep doing this till you level up. Then once you level up, it'll play a cutscene to advance the story. And I'm pretty sure it's a Superman Returns storyline where Lex Luthor gets this piece of kryptonite and tries to make an island out of it. But yeah, that's all well and good, it's just that you never actually fight Lex Luthor. He's like the final boss. You never fight him at all. You spent the whole game fighting Metallo, and apparently the final boss is a tornado. I made that far, but that's what I heard. If this was an arcade game or a mobile game, I actually have no problem with this. I can see myself on a road trip playing this on 3DS. But no, this is a mainline console game that adapts the story of a movie poorly. As in, it doesn't do a good job telling the story because you're not actually interacting with the main villain, you're interacting with a villain who has nothing to do with the events of what's going on. And the repetitive gameplay is not enticing me to continue on. You see, video games are a medium of art. Their method of storytelling cannot be replicated by anything else. But, no matter how good your story is, if your gameplay is boring, the player's not going to experience that story. So therefore, you're not taking advantage of the medium. And that's a major issue with this game. So even though this game is competent, and has good flight controls, and sometimes feels good to play, it does not entice me to keep going and experience the whole story. So, it unfortunately feels as a video game. And since I didn't see the end of the story, I've got my personal headcanon and say that Superman dies by a final boss tornado. We're now at the death of Superman. After the tyrant tornado took the life of Superman, things have not been the same. The world has been without a protector, and hopes of a better tomorrow have been nothing but a distant dream. Also, this weird guy who looks like he's made of stone is throwing a party for some reason. Woo! Superman's over party! I bet he was a drug user. I bet he used heat vision to blaze a joint. No more. He is done. What say you, Lucky? Are you having fun? Wise words, Lucky. Wise words. We are truly in a doomsday scenario with no escape.
It's not over yet. It is imperative that the rat variable keeps working.
Oh great, another goofy-ass character. Who are you? Who is this rat variable? And why do you have the head of a frog?
First of all, just call me Dr. Frogleg. Second of all, are you dense? You're the only lab rat here, so you are the rat variable, and my experiment must continue.
Allow me to correct you. I am a mouse with a name, actually.
Yes, a rat that shares the same name as cats before you. That implies that you are next in line with the responsibility of being the hand of the creator. But you're not a cat, and the content around here has changed significantly. We used to have constant streams and short shitpost skits, but then you, the rat variable, comes in and you don't stream nearly as much. And you're making a video that is not only longer than 3 minutes, but it's a video essay about a topic nobody cares about. Why the radical change? My hypothesis is there's a mistake here.
What do you mean, hand of the creator? Why be so cryptic? Speak English, please. I'm just making videos I feel like making.
I will revive Superman with pink kryptonite and monitor you further. Whether you like it or not, your existence breaks the natural order of things. I must figure out if a foreign entity like you has any value here, and most importantly, why your name is Price.
Pink kryptonite feels like one hell of an ass pull, but hey, nothing makes sense so far, so I won't question that. Do whatever makes you comfortable. I'm here to stay. I don't know how things were previously, but this is a new era, and I will leave my mark on this world.
We shall see. Proceed with the video.
Wait, you didn't tell me why you have the head of a frog or what hand of the creator means.
That is classified information, rat variable.
Well, now that Superman is back from the dead, we can now cover the death and return of Superman, a BMF with a banging soundtrack. Just listen to it. The game does play well, but it suffers from artificial difficulty. And don't get me wrong, I love hard games, but this isn't Mega Man hard, this isn't Battletoads hard, it's not even Bloodborne hard, it's just bullshit. Unlike Streets of Rage, this game is determined by who stun locks who first. And when it comes to fighting Doomsday in this game, the second Doomsday fight, Doomsday doesn't really flinch, so you can't really stun lock him, but he can absolutely stun lock you. So, as much as I enjoyed my time with this game, this Doomsday fight kind of stopped me from wanting to pursue this game further. So this game is basically almost good and could have been a classic. And now with that out of the way, we'll move on to the final game on the list, Shadow of the Apocalypse. The one that makes me most impressed. Basically has the most going for it. When it comes to presentation, there's a lot of care for this game. In terms of graphics and plot, it feels like this game came straight out of the anime series. They even fine-tuned the flight controls. With one issue being that you can't move the camera. The camera's always fixed by Superman, and the right stick is for strafing. In most sections of this game, this is fine, but in other sections of the game, it feels like my controller is made by LexCorp. There were times where I had to make Superman fly in a complete 180 just to point the camera where I wanted to, which is quite annoying, especially considering that the flight controls, despite being the best flight controls, doesn't really help you when it comes to rotating. This game does have the best combat, but that's not saying much. It has the impact of throwing cotton balls at a brick wall. This is pretty funny though. Superman can use two-handed weapons, and the game will always call it a bat. Despite this context, it's a pipe. So I wonder who will win. A person with a European bat, or a person with a Japanese bat. Superman also has a spin move. I don't know why he has this, but he has it.
Beyblade, let it rip!
But yeah, there's a similar issue to Superman Returns here. This game kind of fails at being a game. For the most part, it's not really fun to play. It feels like you're doing chores as Superman rather than being Superman. Even though it does succeed at telling a story, you're just not motivated to complete it because playing this game feels like you're injecting melatonin in your veins. I could really want to play this game in short bursts because after like 10 minutes I'm conked out. I just wish this game wasn't half-baked. This could have been, like, legitimately a cult classic. But hey, at least it's the best Superman game ever. So I can wear that towel with pride. How much is the towel worth? That's up to you. Unfortunately, this game is also almost good. Despite every Superman game being disappointing and unfinished, I do have faith that a modern Superman game can work. Hell, we just see Rocksteady to retract the statement about never making a Superman game and have to get their act together and make them bring the same energy they brought to Arkham. This video was made out of passion of storytelling in video games, and superheroes have stories worth telling. It's not just Batman and Spider-Man who have great stories that can be enjoyed by me. All of them have something to say, and all of them deserve to be experienced. I hope you enjoyed this. There is definitely more to come. By the time you're watching this, I could be live on Twitch right now, playing RPGs and retro games. Link in the description if you're interested. As always, thank you for coming, and take care of yourself out there. Looks like the rest finally done. Just who are they anyway, and why are they taking my spot as main character? Hopefully soon I get my ability to evoke videos and streams again, so I can put things back to normal. I gotta make sure that I would never be replaced. That I would never fade away.
Until the dawn, nobody comes. Unbreakable, silence slowly hovers in the air. Until the dawn, nobody comes. Let by fire spread until the dawn.